I mean, they have a tough defense. Every year they produce good players. So, I mean, I feel like our offense could do well against them, so I'm excited to see what happens.
What did you guys learn from yourselves in week 1 that you can carry over the rest of the season?
Well, really, I thought we had a pretty good game. We just need to execute and work on the little things to get the offense moving.
Obviously, in the offseason, in the preseason, you can kind of figure out a little bit. But once the game time goes, what did you learn about your 2 quarterbacks in the week 1?
I mean, they lived up to my expectations, obviously. I mean, they're both really good quarterbacks, and they put the ball where it was supposed to be. So I'm excited for the season.
Obviously, Concordia, they can put up some points. How much do you enjoy maybe a shootout kind of game?
I mean, it's always fun. I like going back and forth, but I think our defense will be able to hold them.
Okay. What do you guys need to do? Because you took care of business in week 1, but the SAC is far from over. Right. What do you need to do to continue to accomplish your goals?
Treat every week the same. Go against every team like you don't want to lose, obviously.
Football IQ, regular IQ, maybe a little bit different. How high is your football IQ?
I mean, I'd say it's up there a little bit. It's obviously increased over my years at Homestead because when I came here, it wasn't very high, but I think I've gotten a little smarter with the game over time.
How much do you enjoy the intellect, the brain side of things?
I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, it gets to me.
Are you a good student? Do you pride yourself on that?
I'd say for the most part, yeah. I have a pretty good GPA.
What kind of student are you?
I'm a good student.
Okay. So we talked to Coach, and I mean, if you go to the Ivy League, you maybe don't fit the mold of what an Ivy League guy generally looks like. Do you enjoy the maybe being a little bit different if you go there?
Oh, of course. I'd like to stick out when I go there.
You've got 6 offers of the 8. How much do you kind of want the full 8 Ivy League schools?
I mean, I'm talking to them. I'd obviously really like them to offer me, but I'm just gonna let them do their thing.
They were talking to you early in your recruiting process. Kind of, what was your initial thought when you saw like Ivy League schools talking to you?
Well, at first, I just saw Princeton pop up my phone, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't think anything of it, and then that same day, I got my first offer, and it was just crazy. It's overwhelming.
I'm just looking forward to just having a great game with them. Hopefully get no injuries during the game, just have a good game overall.
1 week under your belts, what have you learned about yourselves in week 1 that you can carry over the rest of the season?
We learned that we're pretty good. Like our offense, we're moving the ball up and down the field. And our defense, we're hoping to get a little better this week. Last week we gave up 28 points. Hoping to make that a 0 next week.
Yeah. Obviously, you guys don't have a giant right back, but you got two quarterbacks out back there and a bunch of guys that can make plays. What kind of identity is this offense so far?
Our identity mostly this year, we're trying to get the run game going more this year. Like last year, we just ran with Jaya, so hopefully we get everyone to run the ball more this year, and hopefully get more teams respect our run than their pass.
As an offensive lineman, do you appreciate that more, a little get downhill?
Yeah, I do a lot. Because pass, you got to step back and run. You can just hit them when you want.
All right. Obviously, we're doing a story on Trevin. He's got some offers from some Ivy League schools. From your perspective as a teammate, what kind of teammate is Trevin? Is he a smart guy? Is he a goofy guy? What is he?
Oh, he's a real smart guy, but he can be funny when he wants. Like, he's just, like, relaxed. Like, he does not care about the pressure and everything.
Does he look like an Ivy League guy? Because you think of, like, the Harvard, the Columbia, the guys with nerdy glasses, and he definitely doesn't fit that mold.
I mean, I would say he fits it because, like, in class he pays attention to everything. He does all his homework. Like, he's just a perfect student, I say.
So what kind of student is he? Because, I mean, football IQ, general IQ may be a little different. What kind of student is he?
He works real hard in the classroom. He gets, like, mostly A's, I'm pretty sure. Like, he helped me in Spanish class. He helped me pass it.
So do you have to take notes with him? Are you study buddies with him?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we see plenty of stuff to get better at on film, as we do each week, and that's the idea, is just to fix some of the things we need to clean up, and you want to see improvement each week, and so that's specifically in the areas that were kind of glaring to us. We put the ball on the ground a little bit on offense. We got to clean that up. On defense, we felt like we weren't assignment sound sometimes. We got to get that straightened up, things like that.
Obviously, they throw the ball a lot. How do you kind of slow down that passing attack?
Well, you keep him in front of you. You don't. And he throws the deep ball well, so it's a challenge. And they've got some receivers that can catch it and really good ball skills and go up and catch the ball. So we have to play sound and play fundamental, and make them earn yardage and just don't give up the big play and things like that. Just old cliches, but they're true.
With 2 quarterbacks, how have you kind of managed having both those guys out there?
We kind of we really did a lot. Coach Skelton did a lot of research and looking at how to do this, and so we're still developing 2 quarterbacks at the same time, and so we've just kind of figured out that rotation it helps that they're buddies, that they like each other and they compete with each other, but they're congratulating each other when they do well. And I think both played pretty well for last Friday, so it's a good problem.
Can that be a dynamic that maybe gives other guys fits because they don't know what's coming exactly?
Possibly, and maybe they have to prepare for a little bit different skill set for each quarterback, and I don't know. And looking at it from our perspective, if we were preparing for us, I think we would. Say, okay, we'd have to be a little more conscious of this when he's in, and a little more conscious of something else when the second quarterback's in too.
Speaking to Trevin, obviously football IQ and general IQ are different. What's his football IQ like on the field?
Trevin's?
Yeah.
Oh, if you talked to us about him when he was a freshman compared to where he's at now, it's just night and day. He's learned the game. He understands route packages, I think, and spacing and how to get some separation from DBs. All of those things just come with experience and come with a lot of work, and he's done all that. And he's a pretty smart football player.
Obviously, to get into Columbia, get into the Harvard, you got to be book smart as well. What kind of student is he?
Oh, he's a great student, and we're fortunate. Our student in general, we have really good students here, and Trevin's one of those top ones. And the fact that they were looking at him early tells you that he's doing well in the classroom. And so it's and it's good to have a bunch of guys like that. You can coach a little further into your packages and things like that. So it's been good.
He doesn't really look like a kid that's going to go to a Ivy League. He's kind of a big guy, kind of a goofy guy. Does he break the mold a little bit of Ivy Leaguers, possibly?
That's a good question. I think we've had maybe one that I know of that has gone way East Coast, to an Ivy League. So who knows what they're supposed to look like? Maybe they all look like Trevin,
Yeah.